Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to day 2 of the Fashion Design Council of India and Lakme Fashion Week's joint digital seasonless edition. Day 2, dedicated to sustainable fashion, began with Elan presenting the Circular Design Challenge in partnership with the United Nations Environment Programme. We witnessed 6 innovative fashion entrepreneurs showcasing their creations while vying for India's first and largest Sustainable Fashion Award. Bandit by Satyajit Vitoskar was declared the winner and also awarded a coveted prize of 20 lakh, sponsored by Elan. Joining us this evening are Mr. Jasprit Chandok, Head Lifestyle Businesses Rise Worldwide, Divya Dutt, Program Manager at United Nations Environment, Mr. Gunjan Sharma, CMO Polyester Division, and the winning fashion entrepreneur, Satyajit Vitoskar of Bandit. A big congratulations to everyone. I think this was a commendable feat. And firstly, Mr. Chandok, Ms. Dutt, Mr. Sharma, congratulations for successfully launching the 3rd edition of the Circular Design Challenge. And Satyajit and Bandit for being the winner of India's first and largest Sustainable Fashion Award. I'd like to first chat with Mr. Chandok, Ms. Dutt, and Mr. Sharma about working together, to bring the 3rd edition of CDC to FDCI and Lakme Fashion Week's joint digital edition. Mr. Chandok, let's start with you, right? Every season, ever since the very first edition of CDC that was introduced at LFW 2 years ago, it has brought to the fore some very innovative concepts and talent. Tell us how this platform has evolved over time.
See, from our perspective, the Circular Design Challenge is actually one of the most looked forward to events on the Fashion Week schedule. In fact, it's become a regular opener of Sustainable Fashion Day for us. I think for us, one of the key things that we really like is the fact that a lot of awards are announced, and then there's a season 1, and then you don't hear about it in season 2. The fact that this is in season 3 shows the commitment of all 3 partners who jointly created the award and have been, let's say, adding value from their perspectives over a period of time. And we're hoping that we keep seeing season 4, 5, 6, and it's something that keeps growing over a period of time. From the perspective of our partners, we're always glad to partner with the United Nations Environment Programme. I think it lends a certain credence to what we do at Fashion Week, and we're glad with their partnership. And even with Elan, I think there are a lot of partners that we have at Fashion Week who are leveragers of fashion. Elan is a stakeholder in fashion, and that actually creates this interface with the fashion industry that keeps getting stronger for the brand as well, and our relationship with the brand as well. So we are very glad for this partnership, and congratulations to Satyajit.
Thank you, Mr. Chandok. And I think that was very beautifully said. Elan is a stakeholder in fashion. And, Mr. Sharma, taking forward that thought, Elan has shared and continues to share a relationship with Lakme Fashion Week that has only grown every season, much like Mr. Chandok said. So tell us what it was like coming back this time to the joint platform by FDCI and LFW to present the 3rd edition of the Circular Design Challenge.
Well, this edition was a special, in fact, has been a special one. And, like Jasprit also mentioned, we really look forward to this event because, the idea behind this event and this contest is to promote and to support ideas which can be scaled up so that they can create a much larger impact in the society. So it is not just an idea which stays just an idea and then, it doesn't really create a larger impact. So, our idea, our objective behind this event is to ensure that we support such ideas which can then be scaled up and which can then probably grow multifold and impact and bring about a change in the society and in the improve the sustainability quotient of the society, specifically from a fashion perspective. And like what Jaspreet also mentioned, Elan definitely is a stakeholder. We ourselves undertake a lot of initiatives, do a lot of activities to promote the concept of sustainability in fashion. And one of our products has been Green Gold, which basically is a recycled polyester, and that's probably one of the most environment-friendly polyesters that we have. So the objective here is to ensure that through this platform, we basically create this aura and this this idea of sustainability and ensure that this is taken all across the country to maximize its adoption. So that's what I had to say.
Thank you, Mr. Sharma. Now moving on to Ms. Divya Dutt. Divya, would you like to tell us a little bit about UNEP's plans in this very direction, as well as how you think this association with our Elan and Lakme Fashion Week for Circular Design Challenge has been so far?
Yeah, thank you. Sustainability in the fashion and textile space is a huge priority for UN Environment Program, given the very resource intensive and polluting nature of the sector, which not all of us really appreciate. And this is this is an area where UN Environment Program wants to work both on the science of solutions, but also on influencing behavior. And I think this partnership with our Elan and with Lakme Fashion Week, gives us a platform for both of these. On the one hand, we are recognizing and rewarding ingenious on circularity and sustainability. And on the other hand, we are able to use this very coveted platform to influence behaviors at a much wider level. So we are very encouraged by the kind of interest and attention this has generated. And we continue, we look forward to continuing this interaction and through this very well-established platform, and that is sort of one of the main approaches how we work is working with mainstream actors who are on the ground, and this sort of enables us to move these niche ideas into mainstream. And this is what we are hoping to achieve through this partnership. And we are, like I said, we are very encouraged by the kind of response we've gotten so far. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Dutt. I think with that, it's time for Mr. Vitoskar to take center stage, right? Congratulations once again, Satyajit. You come with over 25 years of experience in the field of architectural and industrial design. We know that your label Bandit uses ordinary materials such as topolene to make functional, durable, and well-designed products, right? Tell us how Bandit came into being and about participating in the Circular Design Challenge and now being the winner.
No, thanks so much. I mean, it's overwhelming that this has happened. I come from Goa, and it's a tiny state, and we constantly see how environment impacts us. So there always was a challenge to do something. And many years ago, while flying into Mumbai, is when you see the sea of blue tarpaulin covering the huts during monsoons. That was a point of inspiration for me. And basically to use a common material like tarpaulin and create uncommon, sustainable, fun products. That's Bandit. That's where the whole concept of Bandit was. The biggest thing for me being on this Circular Design Challenge has been the people, the organizers. I think they've been fantastic. Unlike other design competitions, etc., the mentorship from the design perspective, from the business perspective, has been so good. The learning process has been fantastic. I think it's, despite, you mentioned 25 years and stuff, but the learning here has been maximum. So absolute thanks to the mentors and the organizers.
Right. I'm sure, Satyajit, that the audience who has tuned in will also have more questions. So I'm going to reserve my questions for now. Thank you and congratulations once again. Before I open the floor to questions, I do want to tell everyone that, this edition of Circular Design Challenge, we saw an additional recognition. It's the Elan Award for Excellence in Circularity. This additional recognition was developed to recognize new talent and further encourage them. This time it was awarded to Paiwan by Miss Ashita Singhal for her outstanding innovation in circular fashion. So before we move to questions from the attendees, I think Mr. Sharma, could you tell us a little bit about this new addition that Elan has made and the purpose behind it, as well as for choosing Miss Ashita Singhal as the winner this time around?
Like I mentioned, this has been a special edition, and that's the reason why I mentioned, because we thought that instead of limiting awards just to one, we will probably expand the range, and we'll also see that how can the concept of circularity be taken further. And that's the reason why we came up with this particular award, wherein we say that this is Elan Award for Excellence in Circularity. So my compliments and congratulations to Paiwan for winning this. What we saw here was they are taking care of very practical problems that all textile houses are facing. So there are a lot of textile waste which is actually getting generated, and it indeed is a problem on how do you basically take care of that, and that exactly represents circularity in the best way, because here we are talking of waste being given a new life and presented across in a very, very fashionable manner. So that's the reason why we chose Pavan to be the winner for this edition, and we really look forward to working with Pavan for taking this concept of circularity and sustainability forward.
Thank you, Mr. Sharma. Special indeed, and I think as partners, we're just working towards making Circular Design Challenge, growing it for it being bigger and bigger every season. So thank you so much to all of you for investing in that. I'm now going to open the floor to questions. And for everyone who'd like to interact with our panelists, I'd request all of you to drop in your questions in the Q&A box, and we'll take it from there. We've already got a couple. All right, I think this can be taken up by Mr. Sharma, Mr. Chandok. What is the one-line motive of Circular Design Challenge, if we had to describe it? Mr. Chandok, would you like to take this?
Well, for us, it's innovation that leads to change. Because innovation for the sake of innovation that does not create on-ground action is not what we're looking for the Circular Design Challenge. I think it's taking innovators, bringing their stories to the fore, which actually creates change and conversation around circularity, and also provides products that perhaps over a period of time can become significantly consumer, have significant consumer uptake. So it would be innovation, whatever I said first.
Thank you, Mr. Chandok. Next one is for our winner. Satyajit, tell us about, what do the next 6 to 8 months do you think look like? Now you've won the award. It means you are prepping for your showcase. What's going on in your mind, and how do you see this playing out?
At Bandit, we are trying to use not just one material, which is tarpaulin, which we are doing currently, but we are also dealing with lots of other materials. Like the next one is using flex, because flex, you see, we've got, billboards are printed. What happens to it after that? So we've got a big plan for flex, how to use it. Hopefully with the UNEP a part of this, we've got major plans and ideas and stuff. So I think in the next 8 months, apart from the show, we hopefully plan to showcase some of that in the show as well. But that would be our plan, to take the next round of materials and make some interesting projects.
Right. Okay. Mr. Sharma, I have a question for you. How has CDC helped our Elan achieve their circularity goals?
Well, this has definitely supported us in our, strive and in our, efforts to be and to promote the concept of circularity in fashion. So, while this indeed helps us in identifying the right ideas, which are promoting this concept, this also helps us understand from them and to incorporate and to see if there is something that we as corporate also can do to from a brand, from an RLAN perspective also, to take this concept even further to the masses, to the classes, and to ensure that this Mother Earth then becomes a much more livable planet.
Right. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Sharma. Divya, the next one is for you. How does CDC and UNEP environmental goals combine?
So like I said, textiles is a sort of huge priority given the kind of impact it has on the environment. It's if I remember the figures correctly, it is responsible. Textile sector is responsible for about 20% of wastewater pollution. It is responsible for 8 to 10% of greenhouse gas emissions. And not only, does it have huge environmental impact, the very fact that a lot of garments, textile, fabric, at the end of life ends up in landfills or is incinerated is not just a huge environmental calamity, I would say, but also a huge economic opportunity foregone. And I think there are estimates which suggest that about 500 billion worth of dollars are lost each year due to underutilization of garments, because we sort of still follow a linear model when it comes to textiles, just make, use, throw. So this is circularity in the textile sector is a huge priority for us, both because of the kinds of economic and environmental impacts that this implies. And working with CDC helps us target both the scalability of solutions, because one of the criteria that we are looking at when we decide on the winner is how scalable is the solution, and scalability and the sort of the economic model that is that is behind the solution is very important for us. So it sort of helps us look at that angle, but also just the very fact that we are able to reach out to so many people, and that fashion is still a huge aspirational issue. And this is a platform through which we can reach out to people and sort of give a larger message on slow fashion, on circular fashion, on sustainability in the value chain. So I think both the larger messaging as well as promotion of these innovative ideas and solutions, which we hope are scalable, is how we see this match making a difference.
Thank you, Divya. Another one for Satyajit. The question says, how did you treat tarpaulin to make it soft and wearable for garments? And is there a way that you make sure that it has no skin reaction or any reaction to consumers?
Okay, so what we use is waste tarpaulin. So once we get that, we go through all the cleaning processes, so the whole thing is cleaned up. That's the first part. Secondly, we're not making garments, right? We're making accessories like bags, etc. We're also making ponchos. So one, they're not in touch with the skin directly. Secondly, tarpaulin as a material over a period of time, we don't use softeners, etc. One, because of the chemicals, and two, after a point of time, it gets soft on its own. It's got a nice long life, and initially it's hard, but after a year or so, it gets nice, soft, and supple on its own. I hope that answers the question.
It does. I think with that, we come to an end of this conference. I'd like to thank all of you, Mr. Sharma, Mr. Chandok, Ms. Dutt, Mr. Vitoskar. Thank you so much for bringing this conversation to the fore for the third edition of FDCI and Lakme Fashion Week. I thank everybody here who's joined us today for this press conference as well. FDCI and Lakme Fashion Week have a lot more in store for you through the course of the day. Do tune in to their social handles or the website to catch all the action live. And we'll see you here again in a bit. Until then, thank you and have a good day. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you and congratulations.
Congratulations once again.
Thank you.
Thank you.